Swathes of employees attached to the Department of Motor Traffic transferred. Random rapid antigen tests be conducted on those who exit the Western Province from today. Island-wide lockdown will not be imposed during the festive season. An assurance from the Army Commander. Indian farmers continue protest for the 23rd day.
A very good afternoon. You are watching Lunchtime News on TV1. On to your top story in the afternoon. The Commissioner General of the Department of Motor Traffic, Sumit Talahakon, said a decision has been made to transfer more than 600 employees with immediate effect. Speaking to News First, the Commissioner General said that only those who joined after the 1st of January this year will continue at their respective positions. The move comes after many bribery complaints were filed against its employees. In more news this afternoon, Commander of the Sri Lanka Army Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva says random rapid antigen tests will be conducted on those who exit the Western Province from today. Mobile units have been already deployed for this purpose. According to the Army Commander, the random tests will be done in a bid to ensure the people's safety during the festive season.
It will be ideal if people limit mobility, especially to other provinces from the Western Province. However, we are planning on conducting mobile rapid antigen tests for all individuals travelling in private vehicles, all CTB and private buses effective today. Especially during this festive season, there will be mobile units deployed in several areas. We are expecting to conduct random tests. If someone tests positive, all the passengers will be subject to tests.
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka police have requested the general public to adhere to the health regulations issued by the Director General of Health Services to curb the spread of COVID-19. Police media spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohan has said the spread of the virus can be tackled by limiting mobility.
We will witness the dawn of a new year in another 2 weeks, but we cannot celebrate it as usual. Unlike previous years, large celebrations with massive gatherings of people cannot be held due to the rapid spread of COVID-19. Continue to obey quarantine regulations in the coming weeks. Even if you go shopping, ensure you follow health guidelines.
2 more deputy governors have been appointed to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Yvette Fernando and Dhammika Nanayakkara, who early acted as assistant governors at the central bank, have been promoted in this manner.
Yvette Fernando has completed more than 30 years at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. During her tenure, she acted in the capacity of Director of the Department of Supervision and as the Exchange Controller at the Central Bank. Before taking up the role as the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, she had acted as the Assistant Governor in charge at the Departments of Bank Supervision, Currency, Foreign Exchange and Provident Funds. Dhammika Nanayakkara, who also has been appointed as the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, has extensive experience at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, spanning over 27 years. Dhammika Nanayakkara served the Central Bank in the capacity of Assistant Governor at the Departments of Public Debt, Regional Development, Financial Custom Relations and Staff Service Management prior to his latest appointment.
News First have been continuously reporting on the Sena caterpillar menace last year, which impacted the farmers in the country very vehemently. The maize cultivation in the Kukulapola village in Mahiyangane has been infested with the Sena caterpillar menace once again this year. Farmers say that more than 50,000 acres have been completely destroyed.
Kukulapola village is located in the Mahiyangane Divisional Secretariat in the Badola district. Maize cultivation is the only livelihood of the farmers living in the area. The entire village is involved in farming. Please give us a solution to this.
The Sena menace affected us the most this time. We are hundreds of thousands of rupees in debt to banks. We are in debt to other people like the owners of the tractors. They don't care about the Sena caterpillar menace. All they want is their money.
News First reported yesterday that the biochemical introduced by the Department of Agriculture to curb the spread of the Sena caterpillar was first tested on a maize cultivation in Nachadua. According to the Department of Agriculture, the biochemical has to be sprayed on the cultivations only at night.
Details of several mafias hindering the economy of the country were revealed during a media briefing organized by the Samagi Jana Balawega yesterday.
ගජ මිතුරන්ට ඒ වගේම නෑදෑන්ට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය භාණ්ඩ තුලින්
This government has allowed their allies to engage in corruption using the essential goods. The rice mafia, sugar mafia, salt mafia. Without limiting the price of the goods, they have created a space for their allies to engage in corrupt activities by imposing taxes. They have concealed statistics. By now, the economy has dropped to minus 16.3%, which is the lowest it has dropped in the country's history. It dropped to negative before COVID-19 struck. Several countries have even started providing vaccines. The government should now decide whether to give the herbal tonic or the vaccine. Countries have planned and have begun inoculating its people. Some countries have eradicated COVID-19 and are working on developing their economy. We do not have time to argue about whether to give the herbal tonic or the vaccine. What they have done for the top 10 rogues of the previous government. Why aren't they doing this? The government is not speaking about things they promised when they made attempts to come into power.
ඒක තමයි කියන්නේ විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි මේ රජය බලයට පත්වෙන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා කියපු කතා නෙමේ මේ පහුගිය අවුරුද්දේ මේක ක්‍රියාත්මක වුණේ.
On to one of your top stories this afternoon. Massive protest staged by farmers in India continued today. For a comprehensive report, now we are joined by Newsfirst Charlene Benedict.
The protests that are being staged in India are against new laws that allow multinational corporations to take over farmlands of Indian farmers has further intensified. Today is the 23rd consecutive day that these protests are being staged in India and also across the world in solidarity with the farmers in India. According to foreign media, 21 Indian farmers have already lost their lives while engaging in these protests due to various accidents during these protests, including motor accidents. However, the Indian Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh has said that these farmers are being used by the opposition for an ulterior political motive.
The protests by the farmers at the borders of national capital against the 3 new farm laws entered day 23 today. Toma, who has been leading the government's talks with the farmer unions, referred to the call for boycott of Indian products. Some unions had called for the boycott of products of the Ambani and Adani groups and said, at a time when the country is moving forward with its resolve of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Bhokal is going local, the intention of these people who have called for the boycott of India's products must be identified. The DMK-led opposition in Tamil Nadu also embarked on a day-long hunger strike in support of farmers protesting against the 3 farm laws enacted by the centre recently. Yesterday, the Supreme Court suggested that the central government put the implementation of the new farm laws on hold, adding that it will enable negotiation with the farmers. However, the centre argued that if the enactment is put on hold, the farmers will not come forward for negotiations. For the past 3 weeks, tens of thousands of farmers have changed their protesting methods by blocking half a dozen major highways on the outskirts of New Delhi, saying they will not leave until these laws, referred to by protesters as the black laws, are repealed. The most widespread protests took place in Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh, but demonstrations were also reported in Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Kerala and other states. Railway services have remained suspended in Punjab for more than 2 months due to the protests, starting from October.
More news from neighbouring India. Federal health officials have said that India expects to begin vaccinating people against the COVID-19 pandemic in January next year.
The officials who requested anonymity said a few vaccine candidates were likely to get emergency use authorization from the drug regulator in the next few weeks. 2 companies have already applied for consideration and 6 more are in various stages of clinical trials. The vaccination program aims to reach 300 million people by early August. India has recorded nearly 10 million COVID-19 cases and more than 144,000 deaths from the disease so far. The vaccination rollout plans are being made even as the contagion shows marked signs of a slowdown.
On that same note, focusing your attention towards the United States of America, a second COVID-19 vaccine is nearing emergency approval in the US after it was endorsed by a panel of experts.
The head of the Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, said his agency would move quickly to authorize the Moderna vaccine, allowing the company to begin shipping millions of doses. It comes days after the US began its rollout of the Pfizer-BioNTech jab. The advisory panel yesterday voted 20 in favor and nothing against, with 1 abstention that the benefits of the Moderna vaccine outweigh the risks for those aged 18 and above. Following the panel's endorsement, the FDA commissioner said his agency had informed Moderna that it would, quote, rapidly work towards finalization and issuance of an emergency use authorization, unquote. Regulators reported earlier this week that the Moderna vaccine was safe and 94% effective. The US has agreed to purchase 200 million doses and 6 million could be ready to ship as soon as the vaccine gets FDA approval.
More news from the US. Officials have warned that a major hacking campaign uncovered this week poses a grave risk to the government, critical infrastructure and the private sector.
The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency said thwarting the attack would be highly complex. The U.S. Treasury and Commerce Departments were among those attacked. Many suspect the Russian government is responsible. However, it has denied the claims as baseless. In a statement yesterday, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency said government agencies, critical infrastructure entities and private sector organizations had been targeted by what it called an, quote, advanced persistent threat actor, unquote, beginning in at least March 2020. The statement further said the actor behind the hacks, quote, demonstrated patience, operational security and complex tradecraft in these intrusions, unquote.
Sri Lankan national cricket squad left for South Africa this morning. They are due to take part in a 2-match test series against the Proteas. Angelo Matthews will not tour South Africa due to an injury he sustained in the semi-finals of the Lanka Premier League 2020.
The squad consisting of 21 players left the island at 10:50 a.m. today. The first test match of Sri Lanka's tour of South Africa will take place on the 26th of this month in Centurion, while the second test will commence on the 2nd of January. Sri Lanka became the first Asian side to win a test series in South Africa when they toured in 2019. Skipper of Sri Lanka, Dimuth Karunaratne, expressed the following views to the media.
I'm really happy the way our boys trained the last few months. I'm so glad that we can play again international cricket. I know it's really hard to play in South Africa, but we are really ready and we well focused on being the tour and try to win it and try to give our best. I always want to, there's a squad like senior players and young talents. So there's a good mix of bunch. There's 22 players in my squad. I will go there and see how the wickets behave and then we'll decide what we can do. And hopefully I can give some chance to youngsters as well. Yeah, we know South African players each other really well. We just want to play our best and we are trying to give our best and hopefully we can win as last series in South Africa as well.
That is all the news we have for you this afternoon. For more news, log on to our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Tarasha Kumar. Have yourself a nice day.